So the network you build is very, very huge. So why is it important to grow your network and how to do that on
There
LinkedIn?
are several reasons why you should be doing that. Because if you've only got a small network, not many people are going to see you. You won't come up in many searches. If you write content or publish posts, people won't see those, and you won't get much engagement
Right,
on them.
right,
But building a network is a bit like digging a well before you need it. Now, that's something that I've heard other podcast hosts talk about. Jordan Harbinger is a great fan of saying that: dig the well before you're thirsty.
mhm,
Which means then if you start building your network before you want to reach out to people to ask them to refer you or to talk to them potentially about doing work with you, you need to do that to build up that trust that I mentioned
right,
earlier on. But it takes time, because I don't know about you, but I'm a busy person. And so I don't have hours every day to sit and send out lots of connection invites. So the best way to do that is to do it slowly and carefully. Do a few a day. That won't upset LinkedIn. And then when you've got a response from somebody and they have connected, is to follow up and say thank you. I mean, that's only polite, isn't it? That
yeah,
you would want to say thank you for that. So I think that building a network is essential for being seen on LinkedIn, for visibility, and for getting opportunities. So an opportunity like this, where you've invited me very generously onto your podcast,
right,
means that I am I wouldn't that wouldn't have happened if I'd only had a small network. If you'd not been able to find me, you
right,
wouldn't have known I'd existed, you wouldn't have reached out, we wouldn't be here today.
right,
And that's how it works on LinkedIn. It's kind of like a ripple out effect, a pond, if you like. And the more that the bigger pond you've got, the more ripples that you are going to be able to create by your content, by talking with people, by having conversations. And networking on LinkedIn is no different from networking in person
okay,
in professional networking groups, such as BNI, for example. And it's all about building that relationship. Because when you go to a networking meeting, you don't walk up to somebody and say, hello, my name is Lynette and I'd like to sell you my book. You don't do that. You walk up to someone, you say, hi, my name's Lynette. What brought you here today?
right,
Or what is it that you do? Or you ask a question about someone else. And so it's all about that same kind of in-person behavior on LinkedIn. You want to show interest in other people and you want to be able to get to know them. Now, inevitably, you can't get to know everybody
right,
because life's not like that. You can only have really know well a certain number of people, but it's all about perception. It's all about how people see you and how you come across. And if you come across as someone who is sharing and giving and knowledgeable and approachable, then it doesn't matter if they don't know the ins and outs of you, everything about you. They know who you are, they recognize your name and your face, and they are then more likely to interact with you on LinkedIn. Another reason I think that it's really important to have a big network on LinkedIn is because of the learning that you can do. I've already mentioned learning, and this is a key thing for me. I'm always really keen to learn. I'm always learning about LinkedIn specifically, but other things as well, gardening too, you might be surprised to know. And so the more people you're connected to who have similar interests to you or have knowledge to share, the better you're going to be, the more informed you're going to be. And you'll be able to then use that in your own business or with your own connections or in your own network. So I think there's a lot of reasons why you need to have a really good sized network, but you need to take the time to build it. I've been on LinkedIn for a long time, for about 8 years, really seriously.
wow,
And I only have 15,000 followers. There are a lot of people who've been on LinkedIn for this length of time or longer who have got tens of thousands more, hundreds of thousands more followers.
okay,
So it's not something that it comes easily. Sometimes you might get lucky and get it really easily, but basically it's a lot of hard work.
right, wow, yeah, that's very interesting. So you talked about learning on LinkedIn. So you learn through your network, through people you
Mhm.
know, Also, I don't know if you know about that, LinkedIn Learning. I don't know if
Yes.
you use that tool. They also have some courses there.
That's
Uh,
right. Then now, if I remember rightly, that's part of the premium
that's part of the
membership.
premium, right?
Yeah, so if you pay for a premium membership, you get LinkedIn Learning. That's exactly right. And they have all kinds of interesting courses, not about LinkedIn necessarily. In fact, I don't think there are many, but all kinds of things to do with business. And they're generally really well done. So yes, that's another really good example, MD, of why you should be active on LinkedIn. Definitely.
Right. And what are some of the trends that are you seeing for LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn obviously a big platform now.
Huge.
I don't know how you compare it to other platform like I don't know YouTube, Twitter, or maybe what are some of the trends or what's going to be the future of LinkedIn?
Well, that's such an interesting question because the answer is that nobody really knows what the
Right,
future of LinkedIn is,
right.
except that it is getting bigger all the time. The latest number I've seen was 930 million members, so they'll be looking to cross
30
over the
million.
1
Wow.
billion, 1 billion mark early next year as the most likely outcome or scenario for that. So that's a lot of people, but most people tend to think of LinkedIn as kind of a poor cousin to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. But I take a different view. I think it's completely different. I call it business social media because
Okay.
we're all here to do business, right?
Yes.
We're not here to talk about the latest plants I put into my garden, regrettably. We're here to do business with people and to learn from other business people and to extend our personal brands and all those really positive business professional things. So it is extremely different, but it is a big beast now, and there have been more than 75 new features launched or found or certainly talked about on LinkedIn this year already, and it's very early in the year. So
Oh, wow.
I suspect that it's just going to get bigger and bigger, which makes it a more confusing place for people, unfortunately.
Right.
And I don't know quite how to get around that, but it's certainly very different from other platforms. And so consequently, things that you do here are different. So that leads me on to these trends that you asked about. And LinkedIn is a really ideal platform for publishing posts. You'll know about that already. Most of your audience will know that already. And there are a lot of different formats that you can use for posts. You can have images and videos and documents, polls, articles, newsletters. Have I missed anything out? I probably have. And just plain text posts too. So a lot of opportunity for publishing content here on this platform. And there are always trends within that. Some things work and some things don't. Polls last year were hugely successful, not this year.
Mhm.
But we're finding that videos, personal videos, just short ones, up to a minute long generally, and document posts. So that's a slideshow, and that you might do, say, in Canva or in PowerPoint, that kind of thing. They do really well on LinkedIn and have been doing so for quite some time. But here's where I think the real trend is going, and that's with events. LinkedIn now has two event formats, LinkedIn Lives, which is a video format,
Oh,
and a LinkedIn Audio, which is they're just called audio events. And it is just as the name sounds, no video, just speaking. And the advantage of those is that they can be done from your phone, and they're really simple to set up and to run. Running a LinkedIn Live is quite a complex thing, and you need a third-party app to do that. But the advantages of using it for companies, I just think, are overlooked. Imagine, for example, if a medium-sized company had a CEO who was great in front of the camera and had some really good ideas to share. Wouldn't it be excellent if that person was able to get on a LinkedIn Live
yes.
with customers and potential customers and the audience in general and talk about those ideas and share their experience so that other people could benefit from that? Wouldn't it be great if marketers could do product launches
Mhm.
on LinkedIn Lives and showcase the products, demonstrate how they work, and talk about the benefits to people?